Today's guest was born in 1966, having the academic degree of A level, followed by BBA, and later he completed his MBA degree in marketing from India. He initiated his career as a trainee from Standard Chartered Bank. His positive ambition, dedication, and commitment made him a highly successful man in the arena of Nepali banking. He is also known as the celebrity banker of Nepal, and he is one of the popular and inspiring bankers. From the CEO of Mega Bank to the CEO of Navil Bank. So let's welcome our guest, Mr. Anil Keshary Shah.
Hello everyone, I'm your host Itchya Karki and you're watching Work Mania only on Yoho TV HD. Agi bhakar हाम्रो montage shots Parajuli हेरिसक्नु भएको होला. We have the very popular and successful banker Mr. Anil Keshary Shah with us here today. So let's welcome him on the show. Welcome on the show.
Namaste.
Namaste. First of all, धेरै धन्यवाद हजुरको किमती समय दिनु भएकोमा हाम्रो शोको लागि.
It's wonderful. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So Anilji, before even we start the show, it's so good to see you and it's so good to see how successful you are and everybody in the banking sector looks up to you and हजुरलाई as inspiration दिनुहुन्छ. And what do you credit your success to? Like, why do you think you are so successful as compared to other bankers?
First of all, I don't think I'm more successful or less successful than other bankers. Yes, I am successful in my own way, but what I'd like to say is people just see the Anil Shah of today. And a lot of youth say we want to be just like you. But what they don't see is about 30 years back, after doing my MBA, I started as an assistant. My salary was 3,500 rupees. And from then to now, the journey has its ups and downs and laughs and tears and everything. There is no substitute to hard work and consistent hard work. You can't just work hard for 6 months and then lay off for 6 months and then expect things to go into place. Katiwata biha, bartaman, ghat, nuaran, parties, trips, I've missed, nobody knows but me. So many of my friends think that I'm a stuck-up person, but it's not that. It's a question of commitment. So if anybody wants to do anything well, whether it be in the media, in banking, doctor, engineer, politician, you have to be consistently hardworking. I wish there was a shortcut. I wish there was something that you could do. I could give you a formula and say, you just follow this formula and everything will fall into place, but there isn't. You have to have luck. That's why I'm a religious person. I believe you have to work hard. पसिना बगाउनु पर्छ, बुद्धि चलाउनु पर्छ, तर भगवान आफ्नो सँगै भयो भनेदेखि त्यसले बेफाइदा केही पनि हुँदैन भन्ने मेरो एउटा विश्वास छ. That's why I think when I started banking, and I really mean this, if I had the sort of background that I do, the grades that I do and the education I do, and I came today to join a bank, I don't think I'd get a job. It's so competitive and the youth are so much better today than they were when I joined banking. The competition was much lower at that point of time. So people like Anil Shah could actually get a job in a bank. It's very difficult right now. But that difficulty, I think, makes the competition even more great. But when I go to MBA, BBA institutions and ask them, what is your first career choice? I'm delighted that majority of them say we want to join a bank.
Okay.
As long as we keep attracting the best resources, नेपालको सबभन्दा राम्रो युवाहरूलाई वित्तीय क्षेत्रले आकर्षण गर्न सक्छ भनेदेखि वित्तीय क्षेत्र सबभन्दा राम्रो क्षेत्र भइराख्छ. And that's why I'm very proud to be a banker. I'm proud to be a banker in Nepal, and I think days ahead we'll see where it takes me from here.
That's really nice to hear that, and it's so good to talk to someone like you and also get inspired and to have this time face to face with you. Another question, Anilji Ajay, like you said, you started from a certain point in your life and now you are what you are today. When do you think, when is the time in your life do you think that you feel after bhitrabara, like, okay, I've made it jasto, or what's your milestone, your turning point, do you think?
If I've had a good life, a successful life, a happy life, that moment for me will come when I close my eyes and I know now I will never open them and I'm going to go to meet my maker. Until then, Anil Shah will never be fulfilled, never be content, never be complacent. Too much is not enough for me. And that's how you should be. That's how everybody should be. That doesn't mean that you work yourself to the ground. I love photography, so I'll never get enough of photography. I love my daughter, I'll never get enough of her. I love my bank, I'll never get enough of this. If you say, okay, पुग्यो, अब चाहिँ त म पुगेँ, जहाँ जानुपर्ने थियो त्यहाँ पुगेँ, झन्डा गाड्ने भन्छ नि, you reach the summit of Everest, you put your flag down, you sit down, take a few deep breaths, then what do you realize? The only way to go is down from there. I don't want to go down. I haven't even seen my summit. I don't even know what the summit of Anil Shah's life is. And that's how it should be. If I don't know at this point of time what the summit of my life is, when you first get your job, when you first get your promotion, or when you first start your business, don't think that now I've made it. No. Enjoy the milestones, celebrate the milestones, celebrate your successes, but keep pushing yourself, keep pushing ahead. And I don't mean only professionally, I mean personally, socially, with your passions in life, with your profession, with everything, keeps pushing yourself. And as long as you keep doing that, I think it doesn't matter what people think, whether people think you're successful, not successful. When you look inside you, you'll feel that happiness, that joy, and that's what really counts.
That is really interesting, because I would not expect this answer. I think like, okay, your moment much, but that is so good to hear. But before we move any further, we'll go for a short break. Kaipin na janu hola, stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host Itchya Karki, and you're watching Work Mania only on Yoho TV HD. Agi bhakrai break banda agari हजुरले हेरिसक्नुभयो, हजुरलाई थाहा पाइसक्नुभएको छ. We have the very famous and successful banker Anil Keshary Shah with us here today. Welcome back again.
Good to be back.
Anilji, before the break, we talked about how you became you and हजुरको milestonesहरु जुन हजुरले यस्तो रमाइलोसँग यस्तो मजाले explain गर्नुभयो, which I did not expect from you, and it's so good to hear that. It's such a breath of fresh air. Moving towards a more financial questions-हरु, which even I'm very, very unaware of, and I also had someone make these questions for me, because this is something that like मलाई नथाहा भएको कुरा हो, okay? It's completely something different. So
give it your best shot.
I will. Okay, let's go ahead. So जुन यो नेपालमा फाइनान्शियल इन्स्टेबिलिटीहरु छ, कतिजना ब्याङ्कर्सहरुले पहिला पनि भन्नुभएको थियो कि अब यो ओन्ली 6 मन्थ्सको लागि मात्रै हो and it's going to be better, but अहिलेसम्म यो बेटर भएको छैन भनेर it's there. So what do you think, is there a way to make it better, or do you think it's not going to get better? Or
it's a question, I don't know whether I would classify it as better or worse. It's different, I would say. We have to recognize that as a nation we are different now. We have a new constitution, we are a federal republic, we have 7 provinces. Each of these provinces have their own economic desires and aspirations. And if you look at the plethora of political leaders and political parties, everybody said they wanted to deliver economic prosperity. So we are done with political change, cultural change, social change, all other changes. Now the transformation that every Nepali is looking for is economic transformation. The heart of that economic transformation is the financial sector. वित्तीय क्षेत्र भनेको चाहिँ अर्थतन्त्रको मुटु हो. जसरी हाम्रो जिउको अङ्ग-अङ्गमा जहाँ रगत पुग्छ त्यो एकदम मजबुत हुन्छ. कुनै यो औँलामा रगत पुगेन भने यो कुहिएर झर्छ. म यही भन्न चाहन्छु, हाम्रो पश्चिम सुदूर पश्चिमको दाजुभाइ दिदी बहिनीहरू हामी भन्दा केही कम काम गर्न सक्ने उहाँहरूको क्षमता हैन. उहाँहरूले हामी जति नै बुद्धि चलाउन सक्नुहुन्छ, पसिना बगाउन सक्नुहुन्छ, तर त्यहाँ कहिले पनि पुँजी पुगेन. पुँजी नपुगेको भएर चाहिँ far west Nepal is lesser developed than the rest of Nepal. So now, with 7 provinces and 7 provincial governments and local governments elected after 2 decades, everybody wants the delivery of economic prosperity. For that, you need capital.
All right.
The amount of deposits that's coming into the banking sector is the same that it has been for the last 10 years or so. It's not that people are saving less. However, the demand for loans, whether it be to open a momo pasal, a restaurant, you just look around the valley. The number of restaurants that have come, the number of clubs that have come, the number of just places to go out and hang out, coffee shops have come. They have mushroomed. They have not just happened like that. Every small, medium, big enterprise has required a certain amount of money. This has led to a liquidity crisis. People want more loans than banks have money to give in, and therefore from time to time we hear of credit crunch, liquidity crunch, and we hear of interest rates spiking up and so on and so forth. I think this is a good problem to have. It would be a terrible problem if the banks had lots of money and no one wanted to do any business. Yoho, this is a new channel that has come up.
Yes.
It's come up because there is an economic opportunity for the channel to come up and do well in. You run a business yourself. You've started the business and you're doing well. Of course, you have to work hard and so on and so forth. But you know that certain amount of capital had to be invested in that business. So I think this is a great problem to have for banks. But there are so many people with so many good projects. But I think we also need the help of the Nepal government. What happens is all of us pay tax, VAT, customs, and all that goes into the government exchequer, into the government vault. The government is not able, due to its own internal policies, spend the money as fast as they need to. That's why the financial year just ended, and the last few months of the financial year, we see the government working like anything. Roads are being made, drains are being put in, pipes are being done, this, that, and all. We need to ensure that this happens throughout the year. And I'm confident that it will, because now the pressure is from the local level. The ward that needs a tap, or that needs some dhal to be made, or some health post to be revamped, they are going to put pressure. And for that, the government is going to have to spend money. So it's no longer one government sitting in inside the big walls of Singhadarwar wondering what are the problems of Mahendranagar or Birta Mode or Raswagari or Janakpur, but the people there itself. And therefore, I think this problem we've seen in the past 1.5, 2 years, it will sort of ease itself way out, because the government will spend more money. Also, the government has opened the doors of banks getting money from abroad. With the stability, political stability, I think it will be easier for banks to get money from abroad as well, and that will inject some liquidity into the market. And so together, I think there are problems that are bad and problems that are good. Sometimes you get so many people coming to your beauty bar that you run out of stock. That's a good problem to have. The bad problem is nobody comes and the expiry date of the stock finishes.
Oh, yes.
So, yes. So for banks also, this is a good problem to have. And I think in this fiscal year and onwards, we will see the problem of liquidity going up and down, stabilize a little more. It takes some time. We've had this constitution and the government for a few years only. Even in the life of an individual, few years is nothing. In the life of a country, it's like that. So let's give it some time. Let's be positive. I think we're headed in the right direction.
I hope so too, and I do hope that we're heading to a right direction. And thank you for that example. I think I completely get it now.
Exactly.
Arko question, I mean, like I said, you are successful matra, you are very, very famous. I know, हजुरलाई नचिन्ने सेक्टरमा, banking sector कोही पनि छैन. So, अघि what I wanted to ask you was, जस्तो ब्याङ्कहरूले हजुरलाई, like you are working here, हजुर पहिला अर्को ब्याङ्कमा हुनुहुन्थ्यो. So, do you think that the bank makes you or you make the bank? You know what I mean? Is what I wanted to ask.
I think in any enterprise, a good balance of both is needed. Okay. As the CEO or as the person who leads the bank or any institution, you are the face of that institution also. And in an economy and a nation like Nepal, a lot of people put a lot of positivity or negativity on the face of the individual that they sort of relate with that institution. I was here before, then I went and started a new institution. In that institution, I think my brand was very important because people didn't know the name of that bank. People didn't know what it was about. It was completely new. So it was, the example I gave is, it's like a parent and children. Until a certain point, Itchya was known by usko chori, wahako chori. Now the time has come when Itchya is known by herself. And people may know your parents, may not know your parents, but they know you for who you are. And institution is like that also. When Mega was new, a lot of people knew, Anil Shah ko haina, thikai hola ni bhanne huन्थ्यो. Koile Anil Shah ko haina, thik haina hola bhanthyo hola. But at least my name used to carry that brand a little bit. Nabil is not like that. Nabil is a brand in itself. Anybody who sits in that chair will add value. So whether that is Anil Shah or someone who's just done an MBA and sits there, that chair will definitely add value. The question is, how much value do I add to the chair? Because now there is no question that Nabil Bank's CEO, being Nabil Bank's CEO, adds value to me. My challenge is I must add as much, if not more, value back to that chair. And doing this interview, for instance, your viewership is completely different than my customers. Okay, my customers are usually your viewers' parents. But I'm very interested to get your viewers to think about Nabil Bank as their banker as well. The fact that you said, why don't we do an interview, suddenly for me, I saw an opportunity to get to a target market, which I want to attract, but I'm not being able to attract as well as I want to right now. That is why I'm doing this, as of course, knowing you as well, but as the CEO of Nabil Bank, to see how can I help Nabil Bank. Everything I do must help my institution, I feel, my society, my country, myself, my family, it's all together. Okay? Today you do this interview, people look at this interview and they say, wow, this guy is quite nice and quite good and all. But then they go out in the evening, they see me drunk, misbehaving with the ladies in LOD. Yeah. Suddenly the whole impression changes. And they say, hey, you take Danko Mulata Raisani. Or they come for some loan or something and I ask for a little bit of bribe. And they say, hey, Anil Shah, So it's very important, even if you can talk like this, to be able to walk the talk. That's why I don't drink, I don't smoke. I try to lead a life. When people look at me, they say, yeah, that's how I want to be. It's not easy. And I can't do this for 6 months and then for 6 months go totally wild as well. So everybody that I've seen who have successful, they have somehow cultivated a brand themselves. And people ask me, even politicians ask me, Anilji, you 15-20 वर्ष भइसक्यो अनिल शाह भनेर हामीले सुनिरहेको, हामी त मन्त्री हुँदाखेरि पनि हाम्रो नाम को भनेर मान्छेले चिन्दैनन्, यो के गर्नु भएको तपाईले भनेर. Some people believe यो एडहरु धेरै दिएर चाहिँ अनिल शाह मिडियामा आइरहन्छ भनेर, हैन. I don't think I have to give ads to come into the media at this point of time. But I think it's a question of people wanting to see what does this person have to say. And it's a business. Your channel is a business, papers are a business, online is a business. If they believe we take an interview with this person and people will watch it, people will come to take an interview. Why will people watch it? If people feel that यसको कुरा सुन्यो भनेदेखि चाहिँ के सिकिन्छ कि है, अनि यसले रमाइलो गफ गर्छ, या if you're a comedian यसले हँसाउँछ, हैन, if you're a tragedy actor यसले रुवाउँछ, for some reason they have to watch it नि, हैन. So I think the mix that I've been fortunate enough because of when I joined and the way that my career has grown has allowed this to happen. In addition to this, I think today Anil Shah is Anil Shah also because of what I give to the youth. It's not only banking. I think the time and effort that I invest in the youth because of the way the youth inspires me is very critical to the overall image that Anil Shah has today. And there's a reason, a selfish reason I do that as well. I never wanted to live outside Nepal. I studied outside throughout my life. I wanted to build a career and a life in Nepal. And I want my last breath to be in Nepal. And now I realize that the Nepal of my dreams and aspirations cannot be made by Anil Shah or Anil Shah's generation. It has to be made by your generation. So if मेरो अनुभव यहाँहरुसँग अलिकति बाँडेर यहाँहरुले मैले बनाएको मिस्टेक्सहरु नबनाइकन मभन्दा राम्रो गर्न सक्नु भयो भनेदेखि जुन सपनाको नेपाल छ त्यो साकार गर्न सकिन्छ र जुन नेपाल मैले बनाउन सकिन त्यो नेपालमा म जिउनु त सक्छु किनभने त्यो नेपाल यहाँहरुले बनाउनुहुन्छ. That's why I spend so much time with the youth these days. And I don't know how much I give to the youth, but every interaction I have with them, I gain so much. I gain so much energy, so much positivity from them. So it's a win-win relationship.
That is so beautiful. I mean, I'm totally inspired. Like even when I'm taking this interview, the way you are speaking, the way the flow is going, it's so nice. And I hope to learn so much more from you. But before that, we'll go for a very, very short break. Kai pani नजानु होला अनि यस्तो रमाइलो गफ सुन्नुहुन्छ भने kai pani नजानु र keep watching Yoho TV. Hello and welcome back everyone. I'm your host Itchya Karki and you're watching Work Mania only on Yoho TV HD. Agi bakre break भन्दा अगाडि we were here with the very famous Anil Keshary Shah. Anil ji break भन्दा अगाडि दुईटै break भन्दा अगाडि भन्नु यस्तो रमाइलो गफ कुराकानी भयो हजुरसँग and I got to learn a lot. So much more, and I feel very honored to be here today. But moving on, I just wanted to ask you this. I don't know if people have asked you these questions or not before, but these are just statements that I wanted to talk to you because, you know, a lot of people, because you're so famous, a lot of people might talk behind your back, they might say good things, they might say bad things. And these are just two statements which I feel that I should or I want to ask you and get your opinion about it. The first statement is that के भन्नमा सुन्न आयो भन्दाखेरि Anil Keshary Shah चाहिँ एउटा प्याकेजमा चाहिँ झन् फोकस गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ अनि प्याकेज भन्दा पनि लाइक हुन्छ नि he is focusing more on packages as in like a career package rather than helping weaker banks, like for example हजुरको जुन त्यो Century Bank को CEO पोजिसनको कुरामा भइरहेछ. So what do you have to say about that?
Oh, it's an interesting question. It's always I'm amazed when people look at the book अनि किताबको विश्लेषण गर्नुहुन्छ कि कभरै हेरेर चाहिँ यो चाहिँ राम्रो नराम्रो भनेर सेन्चुरी ब्याङ्कसँग मेरो कुरा भएको थियो मेगा ब्याङ्कमा 2 टेन्युर्स दिइसकेपछि राष्ट्र ब्याङ्कले चाहिँ नो सिओ क्यान स्टे आफ्टर मोर देन 2 टेन्युर्स भनेपछि कुरा भएको थियो तर त्यो कुरा चाहिँ एउटा टेक्निकलिटीमा गएर अड्क्यो र जुन प्याकेज सेन्चुरी ब्याङ्कले दिएको थियो त्योभन्दा धेरै कम नाबिल ब्याङ्कले मलाई दिएको छ है त्यो चाहिँ एउटा म स्पष्ट गर्न चाहन्छु एन्ड देयर आर पिपल द्याट यु क्यान चेक अप विथ अन दिस सो इट्स नट जस्ट द कम्पन्सेसन द्याट ड्राइभ्स मी सेन्चुरी अल्सो वाज अ च्यालेन्ज फर मी बिकज आई बिलिभ इट ह्याड अ गुड टिम इट स्टिल हेज अ गुड टिम गोइङ देयर एन्ड टर्निङ इट अराउन्ड एन्ड मेकिङ इट like Mega Bank, which is a very stable and fast growing institution, that was a challenge in itself. But when there was a technical problem brought forth because of some regulations of Rashtra Bank, I said, no, I don't want to do anything that is not transparent, because so far one of the greatest things I think I've earned is my name. That's why I can sit here and do these interviews without asking you to give me the questions in advance and ensuring you only ask those questions, so on and so forth. Because suppose I was corrupt and I had 2 apartments or penthouses somewhere and something tucked away somewhere, you could ask me that and say, I know Anilji, तपाईको त यहाँ पनि एउटा घर रहेछ त्यहाँ पनि रहेछ हैन हरेक प्रोजेक्टमा तपाईको त अलिकति शेयर रहेछ देन रातो पहेँलो भएर चाहिँ हैन यहाँ उनी त्यस्तो नभएको भएर I can say this. The reason I'm in Nabil for the second innings is I truly believe on the team first of all, and the chairman of Nabil and the board had the faith to offer this position to me, and I believe together we can really do something really special for the banking industry, not only for Nabil Bank but for the entire banking industry, because Nabil is the first joint venture bank. It is the most profitable bank in Nepal. And if we are going to take banking to the next level, then steering a ship like Nabil is the place to do it from, I thought. And that's why I'm here. If it had really just been for the money, I think I would have been in another bank at this point of time.
All right. And the last question is, it's a kind of like a personal question. And this is something that a lot of and I wanted to ask you. And a lot of people, they say, oh, okay, Anil Keshary Shah is such a Casanova, like he's a playboy kind of image. So what do you think of that? Do you think the statement is true?
Well, first of all, I think I should be flattered at this age if people still think that I can be a Casanova. I think it also comes from, unfortunately, alikati hamro soch ali nakaratmak cha. We have a bit of a negative way of thinking in our society. I am a mentor to many youth, literally thousands of youth. And they are boys and they are girls. And they're exceptional youth, whether it be through WWF, the Generation Green, whether it be through colleges, whether it be through any of these multitude of things that I do. Okay. And then people see, look at this, and unfortunately they don't see the young men that I mentor, but they see the young women I mentor, and I think they think, wow, this guy is a bit of a Casanova and all. And because of the persona I have, I'm not in the media, I'm not a film actor, I'm not in any way in the media, but people do see a lot of me, whether it be in social media or this interview as well, and so on and so forth. So certain perception builds. What I want to say is, yeah, there is a 18-year-old girl that I'm madly in love with. And I want her to be madly in love with me for the rest of her life, and I want to do everything to make every moment of her life so happy. And I know I'm very old, and I know she's only 18, but the age gap shouldn't matter, and for the rest of our lives I hope that we share moments and memories. She's going to college very soon, nice. Into the States, so she's going to be very far away from me. But being her father, I think distance will not really matter. So if I'm a Casanova to anybody, I think it's to Arya Shah, my daughter. Aww. And I hope she loves me forever and she thinks that I'm her superhero. And I'm sure she's going to be totally embarrassed by all these comments, but it doesn't matter. I have the right to say it. I'm a dad. But yes, sometimes it does pinch me when people say these things. But I think as long as you know what is the truth and you're able to live with that, I think that's what matters. I'm not going to change. I'm really not going to change. If people want to listen to me, whether they're young or they're old, and they want me to give them their time and they want to give me their time, I'm there to talk to them. As I said, there's a selfish reason. I said it before. I want the Nepal that I dream about to be a reality. And I can't do it together. And I know that my generation and generations before me will not be able to do it. If this dream is going to be a reality, I have to interact with as many youth as possible. I have to get many other people to interact with youth so that your generation can learn from ours and do 10 times more for Nepal than our generation was ever able to.
So I hope that together we can make a better Nepal.
I definitely hope so, and I hope in the process of doing that, people don't think you and I am having an affair.
Hopefully not.
Exactly.
All right. So thank you so much, Anilji. It was so lovely to talk to you. And once again, thank you so much for coming on the show. And before we leave, if you just want to look into the camera, or viewers the things you were saying that you wanted to get the viewership, if you want to say something to them, that would be awesome.
I just want to say one thing, and it's got nothing to do with banking. To the youth of Nepal, the only thing that you've got to focus on is what makes you happy. Look inside you, determine what makes you happy, and follow that happiness. Once you follow that happiness, and if that happiness takes you to Australia, America, the UK, please go. But if that happiness keeps you here with us in Nepal, then together we're going to do something extraordinary. You don't have to wait for 20 years. I think in the next 5 years, you're going to see a transformation that we couldn't even have dreamt about in Nepal. But for that, you, me, all of us, we've got to work together. It's already started. And I think before we know it, we're going to be living in that country which we only dream about. And I always say this, मलाई मेरो छोरी छोरा जस्तो हैन, जति सक्यो राम्रो छोरी चाहिएको छ, र मेरो नेपाल, सिङ्गापुर र स्विट्जरल्यान्ड जस्तो हैन, जति सक्यो राम्रो नेपाल चाहिएको छ. And together we'll make it happen.
All right, everyone, that was the brilliant Mr. Anil Keshary Shah. And if you like this episode and you want to see more of this, if you want to see such amazing, brilliant people like him on the show, please, please, please watch our show Work Mania on Yoho TV HD. And not just that, just in case you do miss this episode, you can find it on our YouTube channel, which is Yoho TV as well. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.